Alright, welcome to precisealgorithmtrading.com. It's Thursday, January 18th, 2024, and let's go through the markets, do our daily review. So, I'll start with the automated trading systems. This is the Dow futures, and this is the results of our trading. So, we got a new green dot today, and that means we have a new high peak in our equity. So, that's exciting, and that's the goal. So really, and that's generated automatically out of TradeStation's software. So when you get it, just tracks your equity. So that's what it does. And what we do today, the individual trades. Yeah, one big winner there and three losers, but that's a good day trading. So next is the Russell 2000. It rolled over a little bit, and it's had green dots recently though. So we got two trades, nothing major, a small winner and a not terribly large loser. And then the NASDAQ is hopefully cruising higher here. If we look back over here, we could get some pullback before it decides to go higher again, but I think we're in the right position to have volatility be up for a little while, and we'll take a look. Hopefully, if I don't forget, we'll take a look at the VIX. It's kind of an indication of when volatility picks up, these trading systems do better, and when it really slows down, that's when you get this. So the rest of the markets generally are doing really well when their futures are down, and then that's if you're trading stocks and invested in mutual funds and those type of things. But then those roll over, and then this starts to pick up. Is typically how things happen. And this is the individual trades for today, and there's quite a bit of them. All in, that's probably pretty back and forth and no gain or loss. I guess it's probably a little loss, but overall it's pretty back and forth. So um, that's the automated trading. Let's go on to the manual trading and look at the markets. So this is the S&P 500. I'm going to zoom in here so we can see this trend line that I drew. You can see we broke it yesterday. We came back up to it and a little bit through it. That's not that uncommon. You can actually see over here on the hourly chart on the right hand side how it came through it, came back up to it, and it doesn't show it on the hourly chart like it came up through it. So that's interesting, and that's the same line. I have the chart set up so if I draw a line on one chart, it sees it on all the other charts. So that didn't help. Anyway, we'll continue to watch that, and it's interesting. So these lines, the white ones, that's two ATRs. That's a Keltner band set to 2, and Keltner channels, I should say. And you can see it. This is tomorrow's candle. Is that tomorrow's? It's the 4 p.m. candlestick. This is tomorrow's candle, and it's right on that line. But the 2 ATR, check out how price goes from one side to the other side and then back again, goes through it, comes back all the way to the other side again. So I'm not going to say this thing can't come up through here, because it can, and fake everybody out, but I think we're actually going to look at lower prices in tomorrow's Friday going into the weekend. So be prepared. not to mention, I don't know if you can see it clearly here, but I can if I blow this out a little bit. That was the high, and that is a lower high, and we've only come up this far. We'd have to break this high to get to that high. I hope that's clear. And I'm not saying it can't be done, because it can, but it's not likely because we actually have a lower high set up over here. We've come down a lower low, lower high, and possibly putting in a new lower low would be the next, I'm going to say, quote unquote, obvious move. The path of least resistance is probably down, especially after a day like today when things popped up to get everybody on the wrong side of the market, and you got all this structure set up like this, and tomorrow they'll pull the rug out from underneath everybody. There's really very little bullish on this MACD, and if you go back in time, it's green, 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 turns red, turns back to green, flips like this, and then comes way back up. And right now, it is all solid red except for this one pull back up, which formed this top, and now we're going down. Now, the stochastic is a little different, but that's telling me a little bit like we could get some legs in the morning, maybe come up in here, form a shoot off top or something like that, or come up here and then pull everybody underwater. And I don't know if you guys, especially the new people, but yeah, this is very similar stuff every night. So that we review, and that's because it's just we got to look at the same discipline and apply what we know, and that is trading, and take your shots where they make sense, set up your odds. And I've shown in the past where I actually have studies that give the odds to some of these moves, and anyway, that's it can be considered boring, and I don't really think it's boring, especially when the money's actually moving during the day. But when you're counting everything at the end of the day, it's the same routine, and that's by design. All right, here's the Russell. Pull back. We're at the bottom of these, in the bottom zone of these Keltner channels. So potential for a rally from here, and it'd be a snapback rally. Nothing bullish about the MACD down here. It's not even curling up, but we do have the stochastics turning up. We've turned red on the EMAs in the middle there, and we're coming back up to the upside on the hourly chart over here. So yeah, just that in and of itself could lead people in the right direction if you just follow those zigzags into where this Keltner channels, where they are. All right, the Dow, I don't know if you can see this, but it came up, it's pulled back, it's come up, it put in a lower high, came down. That's, if we can get a higher bar on this side, that's going to be a lower low. And it's a really shallow pullback, so that's good news for the bulls, but we've still got this problem to unwind. The MACD down here is very, again, doesn't have anything real bullish to it. The NASDAQ is the one that is breaking to new highs, and it looks like it's destined to go higher, and this could be what the other charts do, but you can also see that there is, if that ends up going higher and our stochastic stays like it is here, we've got a divergence, and that's where what a bullish divergence would, or a bearish divergence would be. We got higher prices popping on the in the actual stock charts, but then we've got lower things happening, lower momentum really building on the stochastics indicator, or really any of these indicators. You can see it on a lot of them, and if that's the case, I think we could pop up here, hunt for stops, and then take all those out and still fall. But or this thing's just going to plow right through here based on what's going on in the world, and if you're positioned properly, that'll actually help. So the transports look an awful lot like the Russell 2000. That's a nice pop. You can see we've clearly come down to these Keltner channels, and we're popping from there. Now the question is do we come up here and roll over, or do we just come back to the other side? So we could come up here to the middle. This could eventually come down. We could actually churn around here in the middle a little bit and then roll over. And if you see the white line on the EMAs here that comes up and through price and then came down, and now it's come back up through the red. Well, when you go back here and you see how it turns red, and then the price comes up through the red, and then it just continues lower with the red. That's where we're at right here. Oil today looks like it went up. The USO went up 1.65%. The oil futures have gone from red to green now as far as the EMAs go. And now we're going to just see if we can't clear some of these peaks. So we got lower highs and lower lows. We have not put in a new higher high to break these lower highs. That's what we're looking to do, and this is potentially a higher low right here. And if that's the case, that was the first sign. We could come up here, pull back, come up here and put in a new higher high, and that would be a potential change in polarity. It would be a definite change in polarity. It's just a matter of whether it holds. So, and that's going to coincide, I think, with this pivot on the hourly chart. I don't think it'll do it from these heights because we're up against these Keltner channels. We'll have to pull back first. And that could happen overnight, and then we could get that launch. But we'll continue to keep an eye on that. The actual USO itself isn't showing us anything different than that. There's that same peak. So we'll have to, like I say, we've been just kind of surviving through this churn, and now we're waiting for a nice breakout. And if we get it, again, we've risked from, call it 66 or thereabouts to 64. So we've risked $2 to get from that 66 to, let's call it, even 76 would be $10. But we're going to try to get to 14 or even $16 out of it. So and gold. Gold has clearly rolled over, if you ask me. And we've pulled up here, and we're set up to head fake a bunch of people into where they're thinking this is a bounce, and then we're going to just roll over and come down here to probably these lines. And I'm going to set, well, I guess I have it there. We're going to pull that down so I know what's going on. I'll get an alert, and then I'll look to what to do about it if the price comes up there. Silver, I think, stopped out for a loss. Maybe that was the other day, but anyway, we did stop out for a loss, and I think this is setting up to do the same kind of thing. So I'm going to pull this down here, and be alerted to that, and I'm going to consider a short position, but I think I'd probably short gold before I'd short silver, mostly because of the price of the instrument. If you short something for 20 bucks, it's only got, I mean, it's only going to move so far and really so fast. But if you short something for 187, then you got more dollars to move, and especially if I do that with an options contract, I'm really looking to pick up the the dollars per move there. So, alrighty, that's enough of that. Let's flip to stockcharts.com and take a look at the bullish percent indexes real quick. The industrials didn't move. The NYA in a column of O's went down 0.28%, or not very much. The transports didn't move. The NASDAQ down 0.33%. We still haven't rolled into a column of O's. Sure feels like it's going to happen because I think we're only 0.4 or 0.07 points away. The SPX in a column of O's went down 0.86%. And the OEX minus 1.39% in a column of O's. And the NDX reversing, it looks like 2.86% to the upside. So the NASDAQ starting to show some signs of, like I say, possible breakout, but it could just be a head fake as well. We haven't got this thing reversed to a column of X's. If we do, I'm going to change my position pretty quick on, getting more bullish on the NASDAQ, that's for sure. But in any case, the setups are the setups, and the QQQ is a good example. It did stop me out. I had a position on for it going shorter, or going short, and it stopped me out when I got above these pivots, which is exactly what you want to do if you're wrong. I probably could have held on. Well, I think it got past that pivot, and that was the pivot that I used. So, is what it is. You take losses along with wins, and you just want to stack up more wins than losses. And with that, I will leave you guys for the night. Our weekend review is going to be delayed. It will not be Friday night, so we'll catch you over the weekend. Take care, good trading, and have a great night.